expect me to stay like I'm your only escape.
Hey y'all, it's your good sis Erica Vane back again with another Sistas breakdown. And in this video, we are breaking down episode 7, Protecting Myself. Let's get into it. Y'all, I definitely think this episode was an episode to just kind of like prep us, lull us into a false sense of safety and security because not much happened in this episode. We got a little bit more information in reference to some of the things going on. We didn't actually get the reveal of what was going on with Gary when Fatima goes back to Andi's apartment to get her clothes for the dinner. We still don't know who's in that room with Gary and those sexual noises coming out of it. We didn't actually get the girls going to lunch or dinner. They're getting ready to get prepped for it. It was pretty much the whole episode was really focused in on probably like a few hours out of the day. We saw a lot of Sabrina worrying about Jacoby and what this accusation was going to do to her and her career. And actually, yeah, I'm going to start there because Maurice has done some shady things. Maurice has done some questionable things, but it was not until this episode that I was completely and utterly just disappointed in Maurice. And I have been going back and forth and thinking about this because while I know, it's the show's job to introduce very interesting conversations, very diverse points of view and thought. So no show is, required or gonna necessarily meet every viewer's expectation, right? I try to keep an open mind. I definitely feel like I kept an open mind when it came to the whole Sabrina and Calvin storyline. Like I never really saw that play out before, but it's been something that's been very interesting and eye-opening, so I'm totally into it. But when Maurice started giving Sabrina advice to lie back on Jacoby and to basically cry wolf and say that Jacoby raped her, to say, like, to just make up all of these things, I just felt it highly inappropriate. And while it probably does happen, because listen, there's way too many black men who are sitting in prisons right now who did not actually sexually assault, harass, or do anything to the woman that was actually accusing them. Not to say that that's everybody, because it definitely happens. Like sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, all of those things happen at an alarming rate. However, I don't believe it's ever okay to put someone behind bars or to make that accusation when it's not true, simply to, I guess, in this case, Maurice is making the case that she should do it to save herself. And I feel like if she was to do it, would she really save herself or would she really like doom her soul? Because that's not like a little white lie. That's not like a little like nothingness. Jacoby is dead wrong for doing it to her, and for her to turn around and do it to him, it takes it to me outside of just this incident and how she's going to manage and how will she get through this in her life, and it takes it to another level. It takes it to who is she as a person. It takes it to her spirituality. It takes it to like just these different levels, like I said, that I don't think that she necessarily wants to go to. Like to me, Sabrina gives God-fearing women, and it's like, well, God wants you to do this. Like, let's be honest. And regardless, Jacoby is lying, and I know it's scary, right? Like it's so scary to have somebody who you had interactions with, inappropriate interactions with, because yes, they're 100% right. She should not have slept with him. He is a subordinate. Okay, cool. It's scary to have somebody who's in a position to say something about what actually happened that might have been inappropriate, but to completely turn it into another thing and make it a criminal thing against you. That is 100% scary, but you did not do it. You have to be able to stand in that truth, right? Like you have to be able to lean on the truth versus falling into the trap of creating an even bigger lie. I was just so like Maurice, while they tried to sneak in like the little funnies and the jokes, like none of it was funny to me. It gave me desperate, it gave me trifling, it gave me you are not to be trusted. And honestly, I really struggle with it because it's coming right after the episode where Maurice took a scammer and a stealer and had a whole Ayala fix my life moment with him. Like you have all of this grace and forgiveness for this guy, but then you're going to turn around and tell Sabrina to cry rape? Really? Like make it make sense. To me, the character inconsistency was blaring right there. And like I said, for the first moment, I really just started to dislike Maurice. And it makes me sad to say that because I really enjoy him as a character. I think that he is hilarious. I think that his character is a wonderful addition to the story about these sisters. But in this episode, I was like, okay, yeah, you can go. because your mess, like you have been causing mess this whole time. Your advice has kind of been raggedy the whole time. Like you really have been kind of making things worse, but it was all with good intentions. It was all, lighthearted fun. It was also like you weren't the big major problem, and now you're presenting another big major problem, and now you can go because not only are you trying to ruin Jacoby's life, but you're going to also ruin Sabrina's life and soul if you actually convince her to do this. And I'm sorry, but Sabrina's a little bit too impressionable for me, so we can't trust you anymore with Maurice. We can't trust you. And while we on inconsistent characters, let me camp out here real quick. Fatima. Fatima entered this series. We started out quiet. We didn't really know what was going on with her. Didn't know a lot about her. We quickly learned that she's about her business. She's hustling to become a lawyer, to make it, to grow in her career and do her thug thizzle. She do not play with these men. She is a PIMP. She gets what she needs to get, and then she keeps it moving, and she's just not for no games. Then into Zach. He's charismatic, he's funny, he's cool. They start to do their thing, they start to feel each other. Okay, cool. Fatima starts feeling him. Makes sense. Every now and again, one of them get your horde, girl. Ain't nobody tripping off that. In what world does Fatima, the girl who has many men, any man that she wants, who then chooses to want Zach and is actually fighting her feelings and choosing to want him, now all of a sudden it's running around a law firm, swooning and being thirsty over some random other lawyer who he alright, he giving Rico Suave a little bit, but he ain't all that. Like, I'm really annoyed with how they have Fatima. Girl, did you see him? Girl, he amazing. Girl, he looks so good. Oh my God, girl, you gonna do it? Oh my God, girl, what about Gary? But girl, Fatima has never given that energy. She don't even give that energy about Zach, and she low-key loves Zach. She don't know that she loves Zach yet, but she loves Zach. She don't even get that energy about him. She don't even get butterflies like that about him. So in what world does she start randomly swooning over some rich lawyer? Fatima has her own. Don't need nobody for nothing. And has made that painfully clear the last 2 seasons. The last freaking 30 episodes at least. Like, y'all, I'm getting stressed. I'm having one of them moments. Yo, I be speaking in IG reels lately. Anyway, that really pissed me off because I felt like that was very inconsistent to her character, and they've been doing it since last episode, and I really want them to stop. This man is not that fine. She knows nothing about this man. She also is a person who can see through people's BS, so I also feel like she's never going to get all caught up in anybody from the first meeting because Fatima pays attention. Her head is on a swivel, and she's just not. So stop trying to have her drool over this dude who actually needs to probably put on he needs to go ahead and put on a do-rag, brush his hair a little bit because his waves ain't waving how they supposed to wave. How about that? And he need a little beard oil. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, going into this lawyer guy who they're actually setting up to be a potential antagonist to Gary and Andy's relationship. Honestly, I don't care who it is that come in next. I want Andy to hop on something moving, somebody. I don't care if it's somebody's son, somebody's daughter. I need her to hop up off of Gary and hop up onto something else. And if it's going to be this little tall, light-skinned, caramel latte, then go ahead, let it be that. He got a little money. He from London. He got established career. Let's do it because Gary ain't giving what he was supposed to give. I never even really understood when you decided that he was supposed to give anything but trifling, anything but trash, anything but married man who should not be doing this, but y'all doing it anyway. So it's time to move on, Andy. It's time. Now, y'all, the sad part about the episode is Zach. We do find out that what we saw last episode was true. The stock did plummet. Zach put all his money behind the stock. Now he's back to being Brizoke. Broker than a joke, y'all. And we hate to see it. I ain't even gonna hold you. We hate to see it. But I will say the best part about Zach being broke now, or seemingly going back to where he was at, maybe like, last season or whatever, when he was with Karen, when they were actually breaking up. This is going to allow us to see if Zach has really grown and changed, or if he was just riding the wave and riding the high of Fatima injecting energy and life and light into his life. Because I feel like Zach hasn't necessarily changed just yet, and he hasn't been able to learn to take constructive criticism and be accountable. So I'm looking forward to him actually being accountable. He starts this episode off really good where he's like, yo, I'm always messing up, and he's really honest about it. And while this one isn't necessarily one of the huge mess ups like he did before, because he had all the best intentions, he was really taking a chance. I'm glad that he's actually being accountable to that. I wonder how he's going to move. I don't necessarily know if Fatima's going to move different, even though in this episode they kind of planted seeds about her wanting a guy with money. So now it's like going to be up in the air how they actually navigate it. I know Zach's pride is a little bit bruised, his ego is a little bit bruised right now because not only did he just lose this $20,000, but he gets a call from the house building people like, yo, we don't need you. We're gonna move you to the bottom of the list. We got way too many people, not enough houses right now. So then now that money coming in to be able to replace that money that he lost, that just dried up. So he definitely has a lot going on. And I know he's going to act out just because of that, just because he feels a lot of the stress that is coming from these particular situations, and that's understandable. Danny says, you ain't help. You going over there being your normal self. This is not the time. And I'm so glad he shut her down. I've been excited to see Zach shut these girls down. He did it last episode with Sabrina in the bank, like, mind your business. This ain't your business. You ain't my banker right now. Mind your whole business. Y'all talk too much. And he did it this episode with Danny, like, yo, I'm not in the mood. Like, do I look like I'm in the mood? And it got to a point where they actually had a real conversation, which was really dope. But I like that Zach is standing up for himself. I like that he's speaking up for himself. Now I just want him to stand in his mistakes. I want him to stand in his struggle and stand on his own 2 feet. He can do this. He can get out of this. It's going to be all right, but he got to believe he can. And I think that that's one of the biggest red flags for me. Like I've been mentioning it in these videos, y'all. While I think that Zach and Fatima have really great chemistry and all that jazz, I just didn't want him to use her for the energy that she brought, for the validation that she gave. Like I want Zach to be solid on his own. I want Zach to know that he can do this. I want Zach to know that he can get to a better place and stay at a better place and maintain an amazing lifestyle because he's totally capable of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now, as I mentioned, the rest of the episode is really chill. It's really not much happening. There's a bunch of conversations. Andi and Fatima have a conversation about Fatima's feelings for Zach and what's going on with that, which I think that Fatima don't need to share with her anymore. Andi, mind your business. Yes, you are Fatima's friend, but you are also Karen's friend, and you're putting yourself in the middle of this. You're going to have to wind up picking a side at some point, and it's going to be your fault that you do because you won't mind your damn business. You have your own fish to fry, i.e. your little raggedy fiance who you call and is completely just distracted, disinterested, and you're just trying to check in and be a good wifey or whatever, and he's busy, he's doing something. Talking about he had a long therapy session. Sir, you ain't go to nobody's therapist. Y'all, I really want to not drag Gary every time I think about him, but the only thing that blares in my mind every time I see his face or hear his name is drag. Drag him, Erica. It's almost like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, one of the two, and I just think finish him. That's literally what comes to mind every single time I think about Gary. So I'm not even gonna speak on it. Y'all already know how I feel about Gary. If you want to know how I feel in depth about Gary and Andi's relationship, you can watch Is Karen Jealous of Andi and Gary? Be linked in the cards above, description box down below. You can also go back to my episode 5 breakdown video because I definitely go into depth about it there. Again, linked in the cards above, description box down below. And I also have a video called Will Gary Cost Andi Her Sistas? And that is also a really great video for you to check out and hear my thoughts around Andi and Gary's ridiculous relationship. Okay, those are right there for you. I am breaking down Sistas every single week, y'all, with these episode breakdowns, and then I am doing additional character conversations as well as storyline conversations. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the tribe so that you don't miss my uploads. When it comes to Sistas, I got you covered. And I'm also breaking down a ton of other amazing series like Grownish, Gossip Girl, All American, Power Book 3. So if you're into any of those shows and a few others, again, hit that subscribe button and let's get into these conversations. Before the episode ends, we see Sabrina and Maurice go to the bar to get her to unwind and all of that. So, okay, girl, take your mind off of it. I'm still not feeling you being with Maurice at the moment because he's a bad influence and I ain't got time for it. But I'm gonna let you live. We get to see Fatima and Zach actually have a conversation on the phone. Fatima learns that Zach has been dismissed from the program. They have a little bit of tension on the phone, and she's like, be in my house at 8:30. We about to deal with this. And after a little bit of pushback, he decides, okay, I'm gonna be at your house at 8:30, whatever. Zach is just feeling down on his luck. So whatever he does in the next few hours, I ain't gonna fault him because he's feeling some type of way. He's taking a couple blows. I didn't really think about the old dude who was trying to get at Fatima until he randomly popped up in the episode. And then Zach was like, do you think it's old boy that did this and got me, put to the bottom of the list? And she's like, I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out. Fatima also tells that boy to show up at her house at 8:30. Like, Lord, this is about to be some smoke in the city. Zach is pissed. Zach is gonna beat this boy up. He's gonna get whole beat up when he gets to this house. And then Fatima's probably gonna be the one to finish him because she's frustrated and over it. I don't understand how guys, like, if a girl is not into you and she communicates that she's not into you, she communicates that she's not interested, she communicates that she wants to keep it professional. In what world do you think that that means go harder, get on her nerves, ruin her life, ruin the life of any other guy who she might actually be interested in? Are we that miserable? Are we that lonely? Do we have that less amount of stuff to do? Like, make it make sense. This dude is absolutely pathetic, and I just be looking at him in disgust. Like, y'all should see me. Maybe I'll do some live reactions for Sistas because the look on my face when some of these people come on screen, Gary and this little trifling Negro here, I'm disgusted. Okay, I'm disgusted, and I wish I could find your mama number because I want to know if she know that you out here acting up. That's a throwback to the Wire. Y'all gotta be Wire fans to know what that came from. But I want to know if your mama know you out here being a gump like this. I can't. And we don't necessarily get to know in the episode what this whole letter that Karen gets served with is, but they do kind of preview it in the trailer for next week's episode. So apparently Gary's wife is suing all of them, and that's what that letter was. Child, a mess. I cannot. And before I end my video, I gotta talk about Danni and how she's ruining this relationship. I actually did a whole video about it where I said, is Danni ruining her relationship? You can check it out here. Be linked in the cards above, the description box down below, because I have thought this for a few episodes now, and she is just walking the path of ruining a really great thing. She has all this attitude, all this smoke, all this disinterest for Preston when she's home getting ready to go back out with the girls. And this man is really just trying to support her, trying to love her, trying to feed her. And she out here acting. Child, Danni is headed straight to my list too real soon because I can't. I expected better from her. She has been amazing these first 2 seasons. She's been real. She's been down to earth. She's been grounded. She's been deserving of love. And now that it has finally arrived, she is running from it. And it's triggering. I ain't even gonna lie. It is triggering me and my homegirls. But y'all, that is my episode 7, Protecting Myself. Sistas, breakdown. What did y'all think about the episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think about the episode? What do you think is going to happen next week? What's the one thing that you're struggling with watching? What did you enjoy most from this episode? I want to know all of that and more in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I'm your good sis Erica Vane, breaking down all the hottest on TV, giving you film reviews, giving you suggestions on what you should watch, and more. There are going to be a ton of interviews coming very soon, y'all, so you don't want to miss an upload. You don't want to miss any information. You don't want to miss any of this good content. Go ahead and subscribe. Like the video because you made it to the very end, and I will see you in my next one. My full Sistas playlist is linked for you right here on screen, and if you're looking for something new to watch, check out Gossip Girl or Grownish. Both linked for you as well. See you in the next one. Bye.